Salam everyone. Uh, we would like to present our preliminary work in research under title Daylight Strategies and Design for Self-Isolation of COVID-19 in Dwelling. We are Aditya, Mutia, Saputra, Maulana, Adelia, Akila, and Mawada from Department of Architecture and Planning, Faculty of Engineering, Universitas Syah Kuala. Under topic best practices of digital application in architectural work. COVID-19 outbreak has spread and become local transmission in family cluster. The number of confirmed positive cases is increasing, but at the same time, the healthcare facilities do not provide adequate service. Therefore, a house as an alternative place for self-isolation becomes essential, especially for some asymptomatic patients. And since COVID-19 can be transmitted through droplets, it is necessary to ensure no physical contact between dwelling users. Personal hygiene and self-isolation are the important keys to prevent transmission and spread positive or asymptomatic people from healthy people during incubation. Then, activities and other layers occurring in domestic environment should be adapted and transformed to protect inhabitants from threats, as Karimah argues. As found in setting of a health facility, isolation is the separation between confirmed positive or asymptomatic person from non-infected persons. And as Wiss Justice et al. Argues that by its ultraviolet radiance, it can be considered as a disinfectant and drug to treat the immune system. Daylight is needed to cure those patients. On the left picture, there a home that located in dense area that that become the object in our research. Then one of 6 findings of Peter and Hellerans in 2020 research that lighting should be designed according to user satisfaction and various uses of space. This finding should be the main consideration in designing dwelling spaces in post-pandemic. And then in self-isolation space, we refers to Aditya and Fakria that define threshold space for isolation in dwelling. And then we continue the research and support the previous research from Kurniasi and Pratama that propose Windows prototype for maximized daylighting in order to sunbathing in dwelling in range of 10 AM to 3 PM in a day. And then we conduct the research, the same method as Aditya et al. To observe the lighting. However, dwelling users in this area are struggling to be exposed to daylight in right amount. As you can see on the left picture, there are the simulation from the Velux in those in that house that become our object. As you can see, there are 4 bedrooms that available in that house. Only provide 1.7 lux until 23.8 lux of night lighting along the day. That's why this research aims to propose and explore the daylight strategies and design of self-isolation space of dwelling in dense area. In this research, we conduct 3 stages as the method. First, we make the existing 3D modeling, utilize the SketchUp Pro 2019 software to remodeling the existing dwelling that we utilize to the software. Next, the next steps is we analyze the daylight using Andrumas PD dynamic daylight and Velux daylight visualizer 3. For Andrumas, we apply this software for analyze the big scale, the neighborhood scale of the house, and then we continue the data with the Velux daylight to analyze the daylight, the proposed daylight in the indoor space. And then finally, we explore the design to find the preferred position and size of the opening that light the required amount of daylight in particular time, so we can use the light for sunbathing for self-insulation. The results of these simulations, we are run 4 simulations, each software. First, we run the simulation on Andromas to find the best room that become self-insulation space in house. So we run 4 simulations, and with 4 times a year and 3 times a day, because as literature said, the best time for sunbathing is from 10 or 9 AM to 3 PM. So we divide 3 times a day to make the simulations. This is the first simulation from the month 21st. And then in the simulation, the second simulation, 21st of June. On the third simulation, we run on September 23. And then the last simulation from in Andromas, we run on December 22nd. Next, after we find the best room that can be used to self isolation based on the Andromas, that which room can get the best daylight exposure, so we run this another simulation, 4 simulations that utilize or that set for the 4 times a year and 3 times a day. So the first simulation run for the March 21st on at 9 PM, 12 PM, and 3 PM. So we can find the best opening that can has daylighting each year for those 4 days, and then the best daylighting exposure for the 3 times a day. So the second simulation we run on 21st of June, and then September 23rd on simulation third simulation, I mean, and then the last simulation is on 22nd of December. And then we run again to find the best location of the skylight, because we decide to use the best opening for the room to get the best daylighting is from the skylight. So we make the simulation in the bedroom scale to find the best spot or the best space in bedroom that we can use for the sunbathing. This is we utilize Velux to find the spot. And then finally, we propose the design for skylight position that which place on the east side, and then the dimension is 1.6 and 0.8 meter. Finally, we can conclude that the preliminary simulation in 4 bedrooms shows that there is not enough natural lighting used for sunbathing. In order to increase immune system as self-insulation in dwelling, that we found 1.7, 4.9, 7.7, and 23.8 lux each room. Therefore, through the dialect simulation by Andrumas PD dynamic dialect that analyzing in neighborhood scale and Velux dialect visualizer tree that analyzing indoor scale 4 times in a year and 3 times in a day, we find design recommendation to choose the best bedroom as self-installation space for sunbathing and the dimension of skylight. That's all we can present our preliminary research that we will continue on the paper. Before we end this presentation, we would like to give special thanks to LPPM Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia that funded our research. Okay, that's all we can present our presentation. Your feedback will help us to revise our research in the future. Thank you very much for your attention.